Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to analyze the first round of the Grenke Chess Open. So before the tournament starts, just subscribe to the channel. You can just join the website howtogetsbetteratchess.com. On this website you will get access to eventually premium coaching, but also a lot of courses, for example my books. And in the nearest future, we will also get access to a couple of chessboards that will also be released on the website, with my favorite one already being the travel chessboard. So this one is really my favorite. You don't see anything, it doesn't matter. Either way, let's just start with the games analysis. So this is a game that I played against Emile Bassini, which is a French international master. And what happens is that when the tournament starts, you of course do not know who is going to be your first opponent. So I thought, okay, let's just play my strict open repertoire, and I'm putting those fingers there because my openings went pretty badly throughout the whole tournament. But we will see that also in the recap of the whole tournament. So the first game I'm playing on board something, and my game is being live. So a couple of students of mine, thank you very much, knew that I would be playing the tournament. I basically look at the games live. So we're playing on Thursday deep in the evening, and I played d4. My opponent went knight f6. I played c4. He went g6, and I played the move h4, which is a super aggressive line, which basically allows me to play knight c3 without having to face the Grunfeld. With my pawn there, I could eventually play h5 at some point and start some kingside attacks. Now in the game, he went for c5, which will eventually lead to some Benko structure if he plays b5, but then I'm already there with my move h4. I'm sorry, pawn h4 to pawn h5. So this is basically more or less all I knew. I just remembered a couple of moves then. Basically, this is all prep. Basically, I'm getting the center, and we didn't play any Grunfeld, and then I just stuck myself to the principles. I mean, I still know this position, still my prep, if I can call it that way. It's still my repertoire. Um, Here he played e6, and I know that e6 is not. I mean, this is not a mistake or anything. It's just that I know how to keep going here, and I knew that I had a decent position after bishop e2, which is enabling me some h5 at some point. He took a couple of minutes and played captures on d5. I just captured back. By the way, the reason why I was late is because I had some students playing the open C. Oh, I'm sorry, the C open and the B open. So I basically checked their games. I arrived a little bit late. Here he castled, and I wasn't in my prep anymore after castling. I just knew that I'm supposed to be better here if I have h5. So I played h5. Now, this is really all I knew. I just knew that if he captures on h5, I capture back with the bishop. There could be some rook e8, but I don't want to spoil too much because I made some improvements in my line. So I know that at some point I can play king f1. Maybe not now, but I know that this move exists. Either way, he went castles h5, rook e8, and I just took on g6. He took a couple of minutes and captured back with the f pawn, and I'm out of prep. I'm completely out of prep. I really don't know how I should keep going here. All I know is the following: the h file is open. I can play knight f3, knight g5. I just have to see how he's going to play. I basically have to grow a garden. He doesn't have a lot of things to do except playing on the dark squares. So I know that something like this could eventually happen in the nearest future, something like this. But I know that I have the e6 square, and I could tell, and this is something that will happen in the game. I could tell that something had to be done with this square, but we will see that in the game. So I played knight f3. I don't want to say that I'm out of prep, but I have to say it. I'm out of prep. I just know that at some point I can have some knight g5. And I thought about knight g5 in this position already. So I thought about knight bd7 before playing knight f3, and I thought that knight g5 here is great, because I'm fighting knight e6. If he goes knight e5, though, and this is where things become interesting, I couldn't bring myself to play knight e6, which is sacrificing a pawn, so captures, rook takes, and now I'm having a hard time actually fighting for compensations. At least it is what I thought. Bishop f3 is never an option. There's always knight f3 or knight d3, so this is absolutely lost. If I play bishop f3, I mean, and this is just way too active. So I decided to castle because I somehow thought that I messed up. I was a little bit afraid of playing bishop f4 because, again, I don't know why I was afraid, but now that I'm looking at this position, it's a lot easier. Also, I thought about bishop h6. I really can't tell why I didn't spend much more time on bishop f4. I didn't even try to think about the move for my opponent here. Let me just check with the engine very briefly, by the way, because even afterwards I didn't ask myself any questions. If I go bishop f4, he has knight e4. Okay, I definitely didn't think about knight e4. This is the only move to get a real advantage here as black. It's like 0.5 for black. Capture. If I capture on d6, I mean he captures on b2. He goes queen b6, and this is just a huge problem. I mean I can see that. It's just that I didn't think about knight e4 in the game. And I thought that okay, I should just castle, and it doesn't matter that the h file is open. Um, it simply doesn't matter. He went knight g4, and now I knew that I was better. I knew that I could do something after knight g4. I knew that I had to play knight g5. The problem that I had was that after, okay, first of all, if he goes knight back, because I'm just attacking the knight, then there is knight e6. And I don't know if I should be capturing the bishop or not. I just know that it is, that I would just figure it out during the game. Then I thought, okay, but if I go knight g5, knight, d7 to e5, I could just not bring myself to calculate and evaluate mainly. Calculation was fine. Just evaluate the position after captures. I knew that I had to be fine because I'm attacking the bishop. By the way, 96 just threatens everything, but the reason why he has to capture is because I'm still attacking this guy here. 95 protects the knight. And if he goes knight f6, by the way, 96. So, of course, I'm calculating knight g5, knight d7 to e5. 96, he has to capture in order to protect and save the queen at the same time. I capture back, then knight f6. And I couldn't evaluate this position. The engine says it's like +1 and something, like 1.2, says a small engine. Yeah, it's like a solid 1.2, 1.25 advantage here. Because of f4, by the way, I have to explain you why I have the compensation here. Basically, after f4, he moves back, and I thought about f4. I just thought that this is a problem. Um, Headache. Simply a headache. Okay, let me just check with the engine actually. This is just a problem for me. Yeah, he is G4 only move, like to get an advantage. If I play bishop F3 or anything, he just captures and I can play bishop D5 because the knight is guarding. If I go knight D5 in order to capture and do whatever, I can always capture back with the rook. And the engine says, yeah, you can even just sacrifice the exchange here as black and this is mate. Of course, now during the analysis, I'm missing it. In the game, I couldn't see the move g4, which gives me like a very solid advantage because after rook e6, which wins the pawn, now I have g5, and that has to move. Going on this side of the board would just be bad. And I have bishop g4, queen d5, and this is just no, not even queen d5. What the hell? f5. Yeah, easy peasy. And I guess I'm threatening f6, right? Yes, I'm threatening f6. Ooh, the only idea I could finally figure out from the engine. But okay, but this is just way too hard. And I was so far, billions of kilometers away of finding an idea very, even closely related to what we just saw. So after knight g4, I ended up playing bishop f4 and thought, okay, I still have a decent position, which is the case. According to the engine, this position is still equal, so I'm still fine. Anyway, let me just hit the camera very quickly. Perfect. Now, after bishop f4, my opponent went for knight d to e5, which I could, I mean, this was simple to predict. There was nothing special that I can do here. I just thought, okay, let's just try to liquidate the position as much as possible. I wanted to castle. I just don't remember why. I'm sorry. I want to go rook e1. I just don't remember why I didn't do that. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I ended up just trading queen d2, and pretending that my position is all right, and just bluff a little bit. Bishop f5. So he's just, proving his position. I do not have a lot to do in this position. Maybe I have to. I could have tried to organize myself with something on the queen side. Um, but if I ever do something on the b5, I guess I would need my rook, but the bishop is there. So that was pretty powerful, actually. It's very hard for me to even just analyze this position properly. Um, I just missed right there here when I played bishop before that I missed my chance in the game. Uh, yeah, just terrible. But okay, and this is really how I felt during the game. I felt like no, I lost my chance. I missed my chance. At the same time, a student of mine from the Sea Open. It was her first chess tournament. If you're following me on Instagram, you saw the picture. She played against a young player from Germany, but he has a Croatian name. Who's rated like 1500 FIDE. Her first chess tournament ever, and she won against a 1500 rated player. In the upcoming videos, I will be analyzing some games of her tournament, just so that you can see how usually tournaments look like when you just stop playing chess. And I was already out of my game here mentally. I was just so pissed about what I just did in the opening. I felt like, why didn't you play e4? You're an e4 player. What are you doing? What are you doing? Either way, it doesn't matter. I played rook c1 a little bit without caring. He played queen h4, which I saw, which is That's the okay. Okay, I can explain now why a6. So in this position, I calculated still a little bit queen h4, and I figured that if he goes, for example, for knight g5, I'm sorry, I could play something like bishop g5, but he has queen d4, and now after queen d4, if I go, for example, knight b5, I could be attacking the queen, the pawn, and threatening knight c7. Then when he played a6, I totally forgot that I can't play knight b5 anymore because I simply didn't care. Harsh. I simply didn't care, and I played rook c1, and I got surprised by queen h4. But of course, the second he played a6, I knew that I wouldn't have knight b5 anymore. But I was just out of the game mentally. I was just completely out. I played b3, and now this is not funny. Let's just assume I go back to g5, queen d4. I can't really tell what I calculated, but I can just tell that. Wait, what's happening? Ah, yeah, exactly. No, not queen d4. Now he has bishop h6. I mean, this is at least what I thought, because if I capture, he captures, and there's a fork. I just missed that this is hanging, right? So I played, so I didn't play bishop g5 because of that. So if bishop g5, by the way, queen d4 now, here I have to move bishop e3, which basically attacks the queen. Now the point is, I think he can just capture, and go bishop d3 or knight d3. I don't remember. And he's attacking here, but then I play b3, it's protecting. So I really can't tell what I saw. It was really like I just moved the pieces, but I couldn't see anything. And it was like that until the end of the game. He played knight f7. I didn't. I mean, I don't know what he wants. G5 maybe. Every single doctor is weak now. Yeah, G3, Queen F6, and on the top of that, I thought that he blundered. Yeah, first round of the Grenke Open, you play against international master who's at his prime, and of course he misses Queen G3. I thought I was trapping the Queen because I thought that after Queen F6, I have G4, and if the bishop moves back, I have G5. The Queen has to move back, then I'm fine again, right? Right? There's just Queen F. I'm sorry. There is just Queen F5. This is just so dumb. The second I played G4, I realized that, oh my goodness, he has the F5 square. After G5, he has the F5 square. So yeah, so he moved back. I went knight A4. He played rook E4. I missed that I'm getting screwed. I played bishop G3, then I missed bishop H6. Absolutely. And what's funny is that you see the amount of time that he took, right? Like 11 minutes. During those 11 minutes, I was already thinking about, okay, tomorrow I have this and that. I have this class that I have to give. This guy, I have to prepare the lecture for my student for tomorrow night. Actually, for later the night, because as you know, if you're coming from the US, you know, if you're a student of mine, you know that I'm giving lessons when it's 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. my time. And I was already thinking about the upcoming lesson and about everything except the game. So, of course, I just get rolled over. Yeah, Queen c2, rook e8. He's threatening everything. And if I move, oopsie, I clicked on inspecting. Yeah, and of course, if I move away, then there's basically bishop g4, and if I capture, I lose the rook. And I just tried everything here. Knight c3, he moved back, rook d1, bishop g4. I missed that. This is a very, very bad game. Here, I almost thought that I could trick him, but I completely overlooked that there was rook c1. Except that the rook c1, I saw very quickly that I could play knight e4, which is trick. If he captures, captures, he moves back. Maybe I have something with knight e4, knight e8. I don't know. I don't even know if I was hoping at this point. But instead, he played bishop f4, trading the bishops off. I played knight e2, thinking that, okay, let's just play a couple more moves. Queen d4, I tried to weaken the king as much as possible. I thought about d4, but then I just realized that he can just move here or there at any moment, and I'm just down. So I thought let's just capture, and hope for the best. If he captures, I have some tricks, but I realized that he can always move back, and there's nothing. But he played b5 in this position after b4. He's creating himself a pass pawn. If I trade, he can just take back, and I'm getting pinned. Don't have a single check inside. I do this, and there's not queen c4. Maybe I could have tried this trick, but that would be way too disrespecting, actually, if I tried knight e4. Either way, I resigned after b5. So that was a terrible game. Absolutely terrible game. I didn't even try. Luckily, got a lot better in the tournaments. For those of you who follow me, you know that I also wasn't playing a lot of tournaments lately. I was mainly, playing, team matches in Germany, in Luxembourg. So I was not really at the right mood to play a classical tournament at this point. But it eventually got a lot better right in the next round. Um, During the night when when I prepared, myself for the next round, actually my lesson fell off, so I didn't have my class at 2 a.m. Paris time. Just for those of you who, yeah. Anyway, I just I was just ready. I just trained calculation during the whole night. I reached like my opening lines. This is when I realized my opening lines just suck for classical. They're perfect for online chess, but for classical, it is absolutely terrible. Let me just share with you very quickly the report of the game, because the report is actually very cool. So the report, I will just have to disappear shortly. Bam. Okay, so here you do see the whole evaluation. This is just the perfect game for my opponent. Here we can see that the last, I mean, this was perfect. Yeah, this is not prep, but I just knew that this existed. And yeah, everything here was perfect. And Bishop F4 is, of course, I mean, this is a mistake, but this is fine. And here, yeah, here I had to play knight g5, which is, I mean, next time I will play knight g5, right? But here I knew that I had to capture back with the e pawn also, because in that case, since I already have the h pawn, it will be very hard to play f3 without weakening the dark squares. So, I wasn't completely a tourist. It's just that I wasn't consistent enough to even come up with the first move. The first correct move. And here, yeah, and then he just demolished me. It was a very simple game for him. Hopefully, it launched his tournament properly. And yeah, by the way, here I'm just a little bit interested. What could happen if I capture here? Queen takes. Yeah, d takes. If I capture, he captures on d5 check, which is important. Either way, thank you very much for today's video. Hopefully the sound was alright. I will just check that. If it's more or less decent, then it will be uploaded. If it's not, then so be it. Either way, thank you very much for today. See you in the future for the upcoming uploads. Take care.